This is the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. A company-wide challenge here at Chat Sports set the record for most comments by one person on each channel. The most recent record is Hammy16733, 200 times. I did round a little bit there. It was like 198, but 200 is a nice even number. Plus, I'm not sure I counted all of them correctly, so some buffer room there. A shout-out to any person who can break the record. 200 is the goal. If 5 people do it, it's 5 shout-outs. You can type in whatever you want in the comments section right now. Let's dive into the latest Cowboys rumors on today's show. We'll get to Todd McShay's mock draft, the idea of signing Myles Jack. But I do want to look at the Derrick Henry idea. I'll emphasis idea on that one out there. ESPN did kind of link Derrick Henry and the Cowboys a little bit in Bill Barnwell's article. Some headlines out there saying it was a prediction. We'll explain why that's just simply not the case. The Titans were linked as potentially shopping Derrick Henry. And they mentioned him as a possible fit in the event for Dallas that he gets cut. Henry's been a super productive workhorse, but I do want to really outline what happened in this ESPN piece. So Bill Barnwell, ESPN, was going through the top holes teams still need to fit. He mentioned running back for the Cowboys. He went through what had happened. His actual prediction of what could be next was Zeke's return. What he wrote. A reunion could be in the cards if he doesn't find what he's looking for on the open market. Elliott had reportedly narrowed down his list to the teams of Bengals, Eagles, and Jets, but none of those teams appear interested in finalizing a deal. He also then wrote this: if it's not Elliott, the Cowboys look towards a market that still includes Leonard Fournette, Latavius Murray, and Kareem Hunt unsigned. There's also a chance expensive veterans like Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook could be released after the draft. Dallas could add a rookie in April's draft, but Pollard's uncertain status for Week 1 leads me to believe the team would probably prefer to have a more experienced back on the roster. So, a couple of overarching thoughts on Barnwell. That is not a prediction of Derrick Henry to Dallas. That is a mentioning it as, hey, if he gets cut, who knows what happens after the draft. In the end, I don't think Henry gets cut. And I do think Barnwell's also wrong about Dallas wanting an experienced veteran. I think they want youth. I don't think Pollard's Week 1 status is in doubt. Again, it is a tightrope ankle procedure and a broken leg that's going to heal on its own. That's not that bad. But I do know there have been many super chats on our live shows, many questions I've gotten in the comments section, in DMs, about Derrick Henry in Dallas, so I figured it was at least worthwhile topic to begin today's show. So it is the pinned comment today. Do you want Derrick Henry in Dallas? Y for yes, N for no. If the ad break happens to come here on the YouTube side of things, cool. Ignore the ad. Head down there, type in Y for yes, or type in N for no. I think we would all agree Derrick Henry is good at this whole football thing, right? 1,500 yards last year, 13 touchdowns. There has been a dip in the average. I am inclined to believe that is probably more to do with a mediocre at best, garbage at worst offensive line in Tennessee. But we're talking about someone with over 300 carries, not touches, carries in 3 of the past 4 years. I would be worried about how much there's really left in the tank for Derrick Henry. By the way, I'm also already paying Tony Pollard $10 million. And in the event you either trade for Henry, which seems highly unlikely, or he gets cut, he's still going to get a decent-sized contract, I think. I'm not looking to pay $20 million to my running back room. We just got through that of paying Zeke big money. Now, Henry's better than Zeke, but the whole purpose here is I'm not trying to commit a massive amount of investment into my running back room. It's the most replaceable position. In the end, I also doubt Derrick Henry gets cut. Unless Tennessee does some weird stuff, I think he's going to stay in Tennessee. So I want to have the real conversation there on Henry of, we can have the conversation, that's fine, but it's probably not going to happen at all. Now, if you are tired of struggling with bad habits, cold turkey might be great for sandwiches, but there's a better way to break free from those pesky habits, and it doesn't involve any weird mind voodoo or other bizarre tactics. Introducing our sponsor, Fume, an innovative award-nominated device that helps you kick the bad habits to the curb by focusing on the good parts. Fume is all about embracing the natural. It's not electronic, and instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Best of all, it's free of harmful chemicals and packed with delicious, all-natural flavors. The adjustable airflow dial and movable parts and magnets make it perfect for fidgeting, since I'm a very anxious person anyway, which can alleviate stress and anxiety while you break your habit. I wasn't sure what to expect at first from Fume, but I was pleasantly surprised by the taste, feel, and look of Fume. Breaking a bad habit can be tough, but with Fume, it's easy, enjoyable, and even fun. With over 100,000 customers and countless success stories, there's no reason you can't be next. Start your journey towards a healthier lifestyle with the Journey Pack from Fume. Visit tryfume.com/chatsports and use code CHATSPORTS for 10% off. We get the Journey Packed. That's tryfum.com/chatsports. Use code CHATSPORTS. Links in the comment section and the description of today's video. Over now to Myles Jack, as Blogging the Boys pitched him and a few other linebackers not as intriguing of names, so we'll focus on Myles Jack as a potential signing in free agency. Myles Jack is not the player he was in his career. I know he is a household name, a name brand. Down year in Jacksonville was last year, down year in Pittsburgh there, but he could still be a great target for Dallas after the NFL draft on a buy low, cheap one-year contract. Wouldn't impact the comp pick formula if they don't take somebody at the linebacker spot. The tackle numbers still look good, but just looking at this screen, the areas that jump out, he's played basically 2 full seasons. There's been some nicks and bruises and bangs and bumps throughout the career. 6 TFLs the past 2 years, 3 pass breakups. Less than what he had in Jacksonville in 2020. The impact plays have begun to dip for Myles Jack, and in part because of some of those nicks and bruises and minor injuries and stuff, he's just not the same guy he was at the very beginning of his career. Although, he would have been the better pick over Jalen Smith. The Cowboys could use some linebacker depth. It depends on how you feel about Damone Clark being a starter in year 2, and how you feel about recent day 3 draft picks Jabril Cox and Devin Harper. And that makes it a little bit more challenging. So linebacker is still an area of concern. It's a matter of how much more do you want to invest in the spot. We'll put Micah on there, even though we all know he's a pass rusher. So name a free agent you guys want to sign. Sound off in the comment section, and make sure you are subscribed. We've got year-round 365 coverage for you of the Dallas Cowboys. If they sign anybody else, they might not right now, but they will later on in the offseason or in training camp when they love to make moves. Hit that sub button, note he's on, so you don't miss anything. Todd McShay has put out his latest 2023 mock draft. 2 rounds. We'll break down the picks, beginning with Michael Mayer, the tight end out of Notre Dame, who is an upgrade at the tight end spot, but that is some lower positional value, and I understand those of you who are concerned in adding Michael Mayer since he's not the high-end, nutty athlete, whatever buzzword we want to use there, but I'm a big fan of his game. He is my number 1 tight end. With the way the board fell, he would be the highest ranked player left for me, but I do understand the balancing of, we can find a tight end later. Michael Mayer's not the same level freak, although he's a good athlete at his size. He's a good athlete. Don't fall for he's not slow. Don't tell me he's slow and then say Jake Ferguson is fast when Michael Mayer's the better athlete. Don't tell me and sell me on that lie there. The offense in Notre Dame was at its best when it was throw it to Michael Mayer. It was their best play for years for the Fighting Irish. I think he's a quality run blocker. Don't put him on edge rushers. It's a bad idea. Doesn't bring you a ton of yak. That's why there's a chance he falls to you. But he reminds me of not late stage, not early stage, and not quite prime, but still good, still good, Jason Witten. Very similar, well-rounded, in-line, some slot tight end abilities there. Now, there were some other notable guys on the board. Maybe you want Jordan Addison. Maybe you want to go guard Steve Avila. Deontay Banks was there if you want to take a corner. I was kind of surprised he slid a little bit. Mozzie Smith, Will McDonald, a 30 visit for the Cowboys, by the way, also fell. In the end, I am high on Michael Mayer, so I was fine with that selection. I don't mind taking the first-round grade there at 26. Probably end up doing it. Now, round 2, all the guards were gone. But Trenton Simpson, the linebacker from Clemson, who is maybe a lower-rated potential round 1 pick for the Cowboys, made it all the way down to the back end of round 2. He's an impressive athlete with some upside, still some room to grow. We'll go more in depth on Trenton Simpson, also a 30 visit, by the way, for the Dallas Cowboys. But I want you to grade Todd McShay's 2-round mock draft. A, B, C, D, or F. Head down to the comments and sound off. I like what Trenton Simpson brings as an athlete, as the upside. He's a weak side linebacker, 6'2" and change, 235, 32 and 3/8 inch arms. He can impact all 3 phases, run, blitz, and cover, how I'm going to define those there. Allegedly added 10 pounds last season. Didn't seem to miss any steps there. 4.4340, 40.5-inch vert. Awesome athletes. I think he has the traits to be able to hold up in some man coverage against tight ends and running backs. But the splash plays went down, especially as a pass rusher. He was not remotely as effective. The moves are just kind of win with speed, and that's what happens there. The ball production in coverage is also not very good. Frankly, it's actually non-existent. 0 career pass breakups. How you're 6'2" and change, 235 with 0 career PBUs, and you want a 4.43, I'm not really sure. I think the instincts, the processing just aren't quite there yet. Tends to show up in zone coverage as well. But the upside in round 2, I don't love Simpson, who is a pre-draft visit in round 1. That's a little aggressive for me. But in round 2, I'm not going to complain. That gives you another freaky athlete at linebacker. I want my defense filled with those guys. Add a fatty up front later on. It's a great draft as far as I'm concerned.